Alright everybody, we are 13 weeks into the NFL season, so look, we've gotten enough time, we've gotten enough watching of everything to kind of go ahead and tier list the rookie wide receiving class of 2022 for the NFL, everybody. So that's what I'm going to do in this video, everybody. But before I do that, I just want to let you guys know to subscribe to the Ultimate Sports TV for more NFL and NBA content. Just want to make sure you like this video for me and share this video and YouTube channel, everybody. But without further ado, let's hop into this tier list that I've really been waiting to do all year. I just have been waiting for us to get more far into the season, for us to really be able to gauge what we think of these rookies. Let's hop into it and start with the D tier. Alright, so in the D tier, I got Tyquan Thornton from the Patriots, then I got Khalil Shakir from the Bills. These are guys who I thought showed some flashes, but didn't really have enough targets to really get into that C tier or that B tier, or especially A or S tier. Now, Tyquan Thornton is a guy who I think has a lot of potential, and if he got more playing time, I think we see a little bit more of him. But just given that he's only had 10 receptions this year, hasn't necessarily played a ton of games, I don't really think it's really right to move him into that C tier yet. Same thing with Khalil Shakir. They're both guys that I think have promise, just have not played all that much this year, or really haven't gotten the ball all that much. So they are in the D tier. Now let's move on to the C tier. And in the C tier, I got Romeo Doubs, I got Skyy Moore, I got David Bell, Jahan Dotson, and then Wan'Dale Robinson. Now the guy I really want to highlight here, really two guys, is really Romeo Doubs and then Skyy Moore. With Romeo Doubs, he's someone that has tons of potential as a route runner, someone who could get yards after contact, someone who could be maybe a consistent touchdown scorer. I mean, there's just an inconsistency. He'll flash sometimes, but then you get the drops, you get the inconsistency, you get the penalties. There are just things he has to clean up in his game. But when he's on, I do like Romeo Doubs. I don't think he's a D tier guy. I think when he was healthy, he should have done a bit more with the targets that he got to help out Aaron Rodgers a bit more. But the dude definitely has potential. And then with Skyy Moore, the dude is just not a good punt returner. But when you use him in the receiving game, I think great things happen, especially when Patrick Mahomes is his quarterback. The dude can be a deep threat. One of my favorite games of his was versus the Chargers. That was probably his best game of the year. But Skyy Moore is a guy where you could use his speed to your offense's advantage. And I think the Chiefs have kind of done that within the past few weeks a little more. Now, David Bell is a guy who's kind of been surrounded by Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. He just has other guys that are being targeted in his offense, therefore he's not getting a bunch of targets. But whenever you throw David Bell the ball, it's pretty obvious that he's going to catch it. The dude is just really sure-handed. I like David Bell in that aspect. And look, he can really find some soft spots in the zone. So he's a really smart receiver. Wan'Dale Robinson is a guy who I really like. I like his all-around skill set. Just wish he got the ball just a bit more. And then Jahan Dotson is a guy who, if he didn't get hurt, he's the guy that I think we could be seeing in maybe the A tier or the B tier. The dude had an incredible start to the year and really wasn't getting the ball after he came back from injury. Really just hasn't had the production. But everyone, that is the C tier. Let's move on to the B tier. And in the B tier, I got Drake London, Treylon Burks, Christian Watson, and then Alec Peirce. When it comes to the statistics for these guys, Alec Peirce has had 424 yards and 1 touchdown in 12 games. Christian Watson has had 353 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns in 9 games. Treylon Burks has had 334 receiving yards in 7 games. And Drake London has had 438 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns in 12 games. Hey man, when we're looking at Drake London, he's the guy that I think would be so much better if he just had better quarterback play. It was also in a better offense, because for whatever reason, this Atlanta Falcons offense does not prioritize getting their best players the ball whatsoever. And then we know, look, Marcus Mariota has not done a great job at getting Drake London the ball. Drake London is a guy who I think whenever he gets an opportunity, he makes the most of it. And I think even on tape, when you look at his route running and just what he does when he does not have the ball in his hands, I think he's been great in that area too. So I love all those things about Drake London, and I think he had an amazing start to the year too. He just needs better quarterback play. He could benefit from having better quarterback play, and if he just had that, then he'd be an A tier or S tier player. He just needs the targets and he needs the quarterback play. I checked, and look, he is second among rookies in off-target rate in all of his targets, people. It's 19%. That is absurd. That just shows you how bad his quarterback play has been, and it needs to be better. He hasn't really put up the production he has needed to be an A tier or an S tier, but he has done what he has needed to be a B tier player. When we're looking at Treylon Burks, he's a guy that started off the season just a tiny bit slow. He showed flashes, and I like that. But look, coming off injury here, he has really looked incredible as a route runner, as a guy who has made plays downfield, catching the 50-50 balls, doing everything you ask of him on the field. So Treylon Burks, just knowing what he's done as he has come back in the second half of the year and kind of just showing some brightness at the start of the year, I think it warrants him being in this B tier. Christian Watson is a guy who I just could not, it's just not a debate. He's in the B tier. He didn't start off the season well enough to be A tier, but right now he is really flashing. He's a guy that before the draft I was incredibly in love with as a prospect. I just think he is such a complete receiver, and when he really gets acclimated like he has, he really puts the full thing together. He's scoring tons of touchdowns. He's being the deep threat that he needs to. He's catching the ball. He's running some good routes, and he's showing off his speed. I think just given what he has done in this second half of the year, definitely warrants him being in at least the B tier. Then Alec Peirce is a guy who I also think needs better quarterback play and more targets. But when he has gotten the ball, he has absolutely done his thing. So he, for me, is in the B tier. But now let's move on to the A tier, then that S tier. Let's get it. And in the A tier, I got George Pickens and I got Garrett Wilson. And then in the S tier, it's kind of a no-brainer. He should be Offensive Rookie of the Year in my opinion. It is Chris Olave, everybody. Now, when we look at the stats, George Pickens, 510 yards, 2 touchdowns in 11 games. Garrett Wilson, 628 yards, 4 touchdowns in 11 games. And then Chris Olave, 822 yards, 3 touchdowns in 11 games. Hey man, can I just talk about Chris Olave first? He's just been flat out better than every rookie wideout this year, and really every other rookie in general. He's really been in his own league this year, just despite having bad quarterback play. Look, the dude has had Andy Dalton this year. I think he had to go through some of Jameis Winston. He's just been through up and down quarterback play, and has still been performing. Look, through 11 games, he has had the most receiving yards among rookies in the NFL, and he's also just one spot out of the top 10 in the entire NFL in receiving yards. Look, he's also top 2, but not 2 among rookies with catches for a first down and catches for 15+ yards and 20+ yards. And on top of that, other than his former Ohio State counterpart in Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave's route running really has looked the best among all rookies this year, for being honest. And really some of the best in all of the league this year, people. He's just so incredible. He's one of my favorite receivers in this league. The dude's route running already looks elite. Now look, he's definitely not as good at getting yards after the catch as Garrett Wilson, but he's absolutely been better at being a sure-handed receiver that really just never drops any passes. And look, he's probably been the most explosive receiver in the NFL in a variety of aspects. Chris Olave is just really incredible. And look, if he had better quarterback play, he'd probably already be at 1,000 yards, people. Now, when it comes to George Pickens and Garrett Wilson, these are two of the guys who have really just looked like dogs at the receiver position as rookies this year. When I'm talking about George Pickens, he's really a guy who can make every catch in the book, and that's what you gotta love about him. But his physicality is also incredible. The route running is too. It's just truly incredible what we've been seeing from George Pickens this year. And then Garrett Wilson, he's probably the most complete wide receiver out of all of this draft class. He really has everything in his package, and he's really shown that this year. I just wish he had, once again, for another rookie wide receiver, better quarterback play. I think he'd even be, like by now, having Chris Olave numbers if he just had better quarterback play and didn't have to put up with Zach Wilson. But through these first 11 games for him, his route running has looked like some of the best out of all rookies, and really some of the best out of all of the league. His catch radius has looked incredible. He's been able to score the ball. He's been explosive after the catch. Garrett Wilson has been everywhere. He has looked immaculate, and he's really the most complete receiver in this draft class. But everyone, that is going to do it for me. So glad I got to come on here and talk about Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, because look, I'm an Ohio State fan. It is truly great to see these wide receivers from Ohio State just being two of the best rookie wide receivers in the league right now, everybody. But tell me what you think about this tier list down in the comment section below. What did I get right? What did I get wrong, everybody? Tell me down in the comment section below. But other than that, everybody, I hope you have a blessed day, and I want you to know that Jesus loves you and he died for you, everybody. Other than that, this has been Malik Hicks, aka the Ranker of the Ultimate Sports TV, signing off. Peace out, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.